For another daily dose. Oh, that's good. Today I want to share with you a couple of my favorite scriptures. The first one is in Genesis, chapter 1. And it's just the end of verse 16. And it says, He made the stars also. Now, I know that kind of sounds like an afterthought, but we know that with God it wasn't an afterthought. But that's how simple it is to Him. And I love to pair that with one of my other favorite verses, which is in Isaiah 40:26. It says, Lift up your eyes on high and see who has created these stars, the one who leads forth their host by number. He calls them all by name because of the greatness of His might and the strength of His power. And not one of them is missing. So if I put those two scriptures together, and that's what I tend to do in my head as I go, God made the stars also, along with everything else. That's awesome. And God knows the stars. This is by name. And there's none of them missing from His sight. Keep up with them. So yesterday we did a little reading English lesson. Today we're going to do some math. Before you get too panicked, just hang with me. I've written some figures up here on the board, and I'm just going to fill in the blanks a little bit. What do you think this is? 7.53 billion. If you are thinking that's about how many people are on the planet alive right now, you're right. That's pretty awesome, isn't it? That's a lot of people. It's a lot of coffee. The second one, estimated 100 billion. Care to venture a guess of what that is? I bet you're thinking, I know, Brad, it has something to do with stars. And you'd be right. Because it is the estimated amount of stars in our galaxy. Estimated about 100 billion stars in our galaxy. That's a lot. What about this next number? Estimated 10 billion trillion. 10 billion trillion. That's a huge number. That's a lot of zeros. I should have figured out how many zeros. 21 or so zeros. That is the estimate, one estimate that I read of the stars in the known universe. When we say known universe, we mean the universe that we can see. That is, if we have a good enough telescope, the universe that Hubble can see as we point it there. The universes or the galaxies that we know exist. Each one of them may hold 100 billion stars or more. Now, I've seen other estimates that say this number is more like 700 million. And no matter what the number, we're always estimating because, well, we can't see them all. We certainly can't count them all. I can't even fathom that number. But God can. And God does. Because He made the stars also. And He knows them by name, and He hasn't forgotten a single one. There's none of them missing. So if He can keep up with 10 billion trillion stars or so, then I'm sure that 7.53 billion people is no problem to Him. So we can rest assured that when we put our faith in Jesus Christ, that God can handle any crisis that we come into. He's far greater. He's far bigger. This is not a big thing to Him, even though maybe a big thing to us. So whatever you're going through, or whether you're worried about the coronavirus or just daily life, I urge you, put your trust and your faith in Jesus Christ. Go to his word and see what else he said, because there's lots of cool stuff in there. And I'll see you tomorrow for another Daily Dose.